Hello.
Hi,
I see you. How are you?
thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Um, I'm pressing record and hopefully I pinned my video. So, yeah, but you can choose whether you want to keep the camera on or off.
Yeah, sure.
Um, I'll wait a few minutes. Ooh. I'm excited. Let me see. Mm, yeah. I hope. Everywhere I read is like if you pin your video, then that's that's what's gonna show in the recording. Um, if also I spotlight, I don't know the difference between spotlight and pinned. Um, oh well, let's see. I'll keep spotlight for today, and then I'll see how the recording is gonna be, and then I will decide for next time.
Makes sense.
Hello, 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 everybody. So I'm recording, and hopefully it will be just my video. I chose Spotlight for myself. But then, just so you know, it's totally up to you whether you want to keep your camera on or camera off. Uh, yes. I'll give people another like 2 minutes because it's 7:01, so who knows? Feel free to type in the chat at any time. I will read the chat whenever I can. Eventually, I'll be moving here. You can see my studio. And then, but whenever I come back to my computer, then you will be able to ask any questions and I'll see any questions in the chat. You can always ask anything. Um, yeah, one more minute and then we start. I also want to make sure that I share my sound because, of course, there will be music. So I think if I click here, it asks me, is requesting, allow, and I want to share, share sound. And then I think if I click advanced, computer audio, yes. Then whenever I play music, you'll probably be able to listen to it really well. Cool. So I'm a very punctual person. I'm partially Swiss. So it's 7:03. I'll start. And for anyone who just joined, hello, welcome to the Beehive. I'm Bunny, and I will be your host. There will be three teasers that I'm offering you for the membership that I'm doing. And basically, it's what I do with my students. I've been teaching burlesque now for 5+ years. And this is a version of all of my knowledge and experience that I gathered through these years. And pretty much a way that I like to teach. It's kind of a method that I have. Um, and finally, I decided to take this online because well, if you don't happen to live in Zurich, probably you cannot come to my studio. And I always found that a pity because I would love to be able to just share burlesque with more people around the world. So, we're going to start today with a few movements, and I will invite you to move with me, and it's totally up to you, camera on or camera off. If you do camera on, I might come and watch you sometimes, and I would like for you to try everything. This is your invitation to try some of these moves. And anytime you have questions, feel free to type in the chat. And when I come back to the computer, I will answer your questions because at some point I will be moving here in the studio and then you'll watch me and copy. So the first thing is make sure that you just copy everything that I want. I will focus on one specific move every time we meet. So today I chose my favorite, which is called, well, I call it the melt. And this is the focus. However, I'm going to make a little combo for us and I'll guide you through. So when I move, I would love for you to follow, but focus on the move that we have for today. I might also give you some hands because people usually ask about the hands. So, like, yeah, maybe I'll give you some exercises for the hands. And side doesn't matter. If it helps you, my watch is on my right hand. But actually, we're gonna be doing both sides, and none of those movements need to be done on a specific side. And I always like to do when I perform my favorite side, of course, because it just comes easier to me. Right. So, first thing, let's talk about the melt. First, it works anywhere you are. So, if you want to just remain seated where you are, you can do that too. I will also show you a standing version, but it works for everyone. First thing, I would love for you to sit in front like this and think of the screen, like in this case, me, because you can see me there, as your audience. So you are my audience right now. And then the first thing I'm doing is I will turn myself about 45 degrees. Give me the nicest shoulder roll back. Tiny one. It doesn't have to be super big. And then we are going to breathe in here. So we go kind of a little up, and then you breathe out and you go down. And that's the melt. So let me just admit people. Yes. So you can be here and then you go up, and I like to move my shoulders lightly, and then I breathe out and I go down. My hands, you cannot see them yet. When I show you the standing version, you'll be able to see. But basically, I'm running my hands through my legs or waist, whatever you want to move them. And I find this move super earthy. I kind of like to connect burlesque moves to the elements. So when I play with my feather fans, I'm very airy and flowy. And when I'm doing this very grounding moves that I'm sitting into myself and embodying that moment, those are very earthy movements. I have a whole worksheet for each move. I will show you a bit later. But I would like to invite you to try this. So, whether you are in the camera or not, just watching, I would like to invite you to go and get up and feel your touch, and then you just melt. And when I melt, I usually like to lift my chin. And that's because, and that's a secret, I'm sharing all of the classic burlesque star secrets here with you. When you show the neck, it kind of gives this idea of prey. So it's super sexy to just like give a big neck show. So whenever I'm doing a kind of a melt moment, I like to show my neck. It's kind of an invitation to the audience. Let's do both sides as always. So you can turn to the other side. You go up, and then you just have this little melt moment. You go up and then you melt. This is the seated version. I will go, you can stay seated, but also you can do that standing, which is my favorite. I will show you. First, I'll show it to you, and then I'll also do for the mirror so you can have both angles. So there you go. I think you can see pretty much everything. Yes. So for the melt standing, I start, of course, with bevel. If you don't know how to do the bevel yet, don't worry, I will get to this. I have my hands on my waist, and then I melt through my leg and back. And then you can melt again and back. And what is very important, this is a squat and not a bend. And this is very important because this move is also a very receiving move. So instead of going and reaching out, actually you're just standing on your ground and the audience comes to you instead. So if you look sideways, my shoulder and my bum, they stay aligned. I'm squatting on my leg, I'm not bending forward. Very important, especially because I know as women, we tend to overgive. So we are always like reaching out to others. So I would love to activate your receiving energy. Okay? So if you want to try with me, one leg is your standing leg. That's your ground. You are rooted. The other leg is in front. If you know how to do the bevel, go for it. Otherwise, copy me to the best of your abilities. Have your hand with you. Breathe in, grow, tiny shoulder roll back, and then you're going to melt as you touch your leg and you come back. And remember to give the neck, the little invitation to your audience. And of course, we do both sides. Other leg. If you're feeling unbalanced, might be because your foot is like this. You want your foot diagonal, a turnout. Bring the other leg and same thing. We grow, shoulders back, breathing, and we melt. And you're back. And then we're gonna melt one more time and come back. Yes. And now, before we play with music, I will show you back. So I'll take you a bit closer to my mirror so you can see me from the front and back. I love those mirrors, they're really big. Um, yes, I will make the recording available. So let me see. I think here it's good enough. Mhm. Yes. So I'll do the same thing and then you can see front and back. So first I'm gonna go, there you go, here. Leg in front, up, prepare your shoulders, tits to Jesus, and we melt and come back. And let's change the legs. We go up, breathe in, and we melt and come back. Yes. Cool. So this is the melt. So what we're gonna do right now, and I know I'm going slightly quick, but we have a whole hour to deal with that when we are doing the membership. I wanted to give you a teaser so you have an idea what it is like. I will play some music for us and we are going to play. So I will play different angles so you have the chance to look. We are going to walk in, then we are going to find a pose, and then we are going to melt and come back, walk a little more, and do the same melt on the other side. Yeah. Um, if you don't know yet, we call this the parade in burlesque. So the parade is kind of your entrance. It's like, yeah, look at me, look at my costume. It's when you first give the vibe of what your act is going to be about when you're performing. And there is also parade at the end. Normally, I love to do a parade at the end when you're pretty much done and then you're just showing your naked body in all its glory. Well, normally paces and the string, at least in Switzerland, it's very cultural. But in Switzerland, normally we have paces and the string, but it's pretty much the last reveal. So it's pretty much, okay, so look, this is me. It's when you get your best pictures too. So let's try. I will play some music and hopefully you can hear that from there. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for the nodding. I can see you. So, just follow me, focus on the mouth, but follow me for everything. you've tried. We're gonna do it again. I will just turn slightly more towards you now, but I'll keep the mirror so you can see my back. Cool. So, and if anyone has any questions, please drop in the chat. I hope you could try. Oh, hello, thank you. So I think you might have just joined, right? So we are doing the melt, which is one of my favorite moves. And pretty much all you have to do is show the neck and melt. I would like to add a tiny thing today, which is many people ask about the hands, right? So, the thing number one that I like to think of, and I see many performers and many teachers actually using this term, is the burger. So, imagine you are eating a burger. So, you have your fingers like this, holding your burger. And this is pretty much the kind of hand that you're gonna use throughout. And trust me, the nails help a lot. So sometimes people ask, oh, yeah, but my hands don't look like that. Like, yeah, I know the nails do help me a lot to look like this. But pretty much, if you almost always keep the little burger fingers, it helps. So even when I'm touching and doing the melt, I melt, but my hand is slightly in this burger finger position. Anytime I'm touching my skin, it's a little in the burger finger position. Which reminds me that I would love to tell you, as we are talking about hands, about the three fingers of burlesque. I don't know if you've heard, but I'm telling you anyway. So, first is, of course, this one, the middle finger, that is holding your burger on top. This is the erotic finger. So, this is the one that whenever you're playing and you're touching, it's super erotic. And let me show you something. If I just do this movement, towards you, and I start with my small finger, that looks kind of cool. However, if I do it like this, it's so erotic. I don't know why. Actually, I do have some students who call this the Nutella move because I imagine I have a jar of Nutella and it has some Nutella at the bottom. And I'm putting my hand in and I'm trying, with my finger, to reach all of the Nutella inside. So I like to do the moves instead of like this, like this. So your middle finger is leading. Yes, there you go. And as always, do with both hands. I have my favorite hand to do the things, but always practice both. So this is the erotic finger. Also, you can think when you are touching that it's like a something cold touching a hot pan when you're cooking. So it has that kind of sound. If you do that sound, your mouth gets like also super sexy as you're doing it. So it's yes. So that's the erotic finger. Next, we have the index finger, which is the showgirl, the happy, the girl next door kind of vibe. So that's also a lot of topics, for different classes, but we play a lot with archetypes in burlesque. And of course, you have the femme fatale, and this finger. But we also have the showgirl, the kind of pin-up kind of girl. So she's like, hey, look at my smile. Hello, it's me. Boobs. So this is more of a playful finger that we like to play with. When you are pointing at things and you want to do that in a more playful way instead of in a more sexual way, that's the finger. And last but not least, the thumb. The thumb is the badass finger. And I will show you why. When we use the erotic finger to give maybe we use that in the mouth that you're turning, and I like to make my eyes small, just like Mary Monroe. And can you imagine the iconic Mary Monroe vibe when she's like fixing her lipstick, right? So you can use your erotic finger for that, and then you turn your chin sideways about 45 degrees, and you're forward like this, and you make your eyes really small, and you're just doing that. So this is erotic. But if you use your thumb, you need your thumb to grab things. So the vibe goes from erotic to badass, like, don't fuck with me. So whenever you're playing again with different archetypes and you want to play the badass, this is the time because you need that not just to touch, you need it to grab. When you're grabbing anywhere on yourself, you're gonna need the thumbs. And I love the cleaning your lipstick kind of vibe. So pick your favorite finger. Let me know what your favorite finger is. Everybody's so quiet. I'm like, I can see you. Thank you. But if you are listening, type in the chat. What is your favorite finger? Let me know. I want to know. I'm curious. Yeah, I love to see you try. I'm loving it. I see you trying all the fingers. Uh-huh. Let's see. Let's see if someone tells me. I'll go on doing a badass act today. Ooh! Thank you. But my favorite is the erotic finger. Yes, erotic finger. Okay, okay, okay. I see we have the femme fatales in the house. I love it. Cutesy pinup. So, pointer finger. Cool, cool. Definitely the erotic finger. I always recognized the fact, but never knew why. And now, oh, cool. Middle. Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's really interesting, right? Because there is so many small things that make a big difference. Even in the melt, when people do the melt, if they start bending, it just looks different. That's why I tell people squat, squat. And in the shoes, it's actually quite hard, but if you have shoes, definitely try with the shoes. Middle too, yes. We have a lot of the femme fatales here. So for the middle one, definitely remember to use also whatever you are touching. And that's another move. But for example, if we're doing maybe a leg one, you can always touch with the middle finger and think of the ch, because that just gives you the face, right? It's like the ch kind of vibe. So anytime you're just, even if you're gonna do a glove peel, right? So you just has the vibe. So I would like to dance a little more with you. So we are going to do the same song. We are going to walk in, do a few melts, and I would love you to play when you do the melts. Continue with your hand. So as we were talking about it, so you can, for example, melt, and then you can continue and bring a scoop with your hand. When you come back up, you can actually finish your whole movement with your hands up and back. and always give me that beautiful burger finger. So even if you are somewhere here up, or if you're doing any movements like this, burger finger all the way. So I will play that again and join me. Let's do it. Cool. So, anyone has any questions about the melt? Ooh, I can see you. You look great. I love it. Unfortunately, I don't have your name because it shows me just iPhone too. Hi, Rosie. Look great. I love it. I saw you doing also different angles for the mouth. Amazing. So, we have a question here. How can we remember to keep our neck extended? So, I have a few tricks. One thing that I like to think of, let me just admit someone. So, is when I practice and even when I'm teaching, I'm always looking higher than I naturally want to. So, one thing to remember is that for example, if you perform, right? The stage is your average, meaning whatever you practice the most is gonna improve your average on stage. So I actually look up extra because naturally I'm gonna look down when I'm performing. So I wanna increase my average. So I just force myself to look up. That's thing number one. Thing number two that I like to do is if you're talking about the stage, for example, I really look for the lights because I know that you spend all of those hours doing your makeup, and not only you get the best pictures and video, but also the audience gets the best experience when you let the lights really hit you, and then they get the best face. They see your makeup in all its glory. So when I rehearse and I prepare, I always look to see where the lights are, and I make sure that in my routine, I will definitely look at that light at a point, look at that light, and look at that one. And thing number three, I try to always extend my body. So if a part of me is going down, a part of me is going up. So when I'm doing the melt, because my lower body is going down. If I don't move here, it looks quite stiff, right? So I like to move. Okay, so here is going down. Here has to go up, so I extend. And it kind of becomes natural that my body wants to extend every time I go down. Even if you do like a melt, kind of like this, it's the same thing. Naturally, my body wants to go like, huh, and show the neck, and show the neck. And maybe one thing that could help too is always this. So the one thing you can always do, and I see that improves the most for everybody, if you're just sitting like natural, and then you give yourself the tiniest shoulder roll back, it improves your posture like 80%. Of course, you want to go extra, when you're on stage. My teacher says, like, tits to Jesus, We are very fortunate in Switzerland. Chris O lives here. So he's like, tits to Jesus, tits to Jesus. So I think I got used to that. But even the tiniest shoulder roll already improves your posture. And then little by little, if you start doing that every day, anytime you're practicing, your body will start to just do it. Drop and lift, drop and lift. I hope that helps. Yes. Any other questions? I know some people just arrived. So, actually, because I saw that someone just arrived, I will do that one more time. So, for you who just arrived, we are working today on the melt, meaning we are kind of, and it works for everybody. So, also if you're sitting, you just have to breathe in. And when you breathe out, you're kind of melting into the ground. And I like to think of this move very earthy. So I like to use the elements. I love tarot and all of those things. So I see like this earth, tangible, kind of very touchy feeling of like pentacles, if you are into tarot like me. And you just pretty much get grounded and get grounded in your power, on your roots. So it's not a bending movement forward. And when you are seated, you can see that really well. It's a movement of just you getting really sinking into your hips, pretty much. And the standing version is I like to do with the bevel, which maybe I'll teach next class. You melt, and as always, look in the back. You are squatting, you are not bending. Yeah. So you have this receiving energy, like you're exploring this very feminine energy of receiving. If you're playing with the hands, maybe you're casting spells too, but pretty much you're grounding yourself. You're just kind of enjoying your hands touching everywhere. So I will play a different song and we just do that one more time. Let's play. How about we do? I think this song was very lovely.
I've been running in circles at 10,000 miles of pavement, trying to make it all make sense. I've been underslept, overworked, overstretched, I'm exhausted, but I got you. I've had friends that have thrown me aside like a burned out cigarette, and times that I've taken it all but then lost it. I've been misunderstood, tasted the bad with the good, but I still got a you. Oh. Deep. I got gravity pulling me under and into your magic.
So, any questions from anyone? You're good. Let me just quickly show you then what I meant with the worksheet. So I just want to quickly share here my screen. Mhm. This. So this is how I like to think of the movements, in burlesque. So I like to give it a name, like this one is the melt, and I think of the description. I like to think, is it earthy? Is it fiery? Is like showing passion? Or is it like floating in the air with like veils or feather fans? Is it emotional? So it's like kind of water. And then what are the principles? Are you inviting? Are you commanding the room? Are you revealing something? Are you in the receiving mode? So, for example, the melt, in my opinion, is very enchanting and receiving. You're just allowing the audience to adore you. How you feel about it. So, I feel like very grounded and sinking into my body. The transformation. So I think this one is definitely receiving. As a woman, I feel a lot like I used to overgive a lot, and this one teaches me to stay and just allow the people to experience me instead of just being like, come and give, give, give a lot. Then, of course, there is always a shadow. So, what is the thing that why do I have a block maybe? Sometimes we do some movements and we feel maybe a little resistance or a little block, like to do the movement. And then we can definitely think about that. Like, what is it? Why don't I feel safe touching, some part of my body when it's my body, right? Why does it feel like that? And you can always explore those things. I have keywords, also coaching notes when I'm teaching or when someone is teaching me so that I remember. So there is some move like waves that I like to think of a bear licking honey. So sometimes some images can help you. Where I do that in the choreography. So as I told you before, I really like to use a melt in the parade to kind of just show off my costume or show myself off at the end. Other connections and so on. And for each move, I like to have more or less these questions for myself so that not only am I doing them with intention, but I also get the most benefit out of learning something new for myself, my body, and mindset, all of those connected. Um, I think that for today, that's enough. So this is a teaser, and this is a program that I'm gonna teach starting 1st of July, which is my birthday. And this is pretty much what I do here. Of course, at my studio, I teach a little more choreography. And I'm gonna teach choreography in the membership too because also we have more time and I don't want to overwhelm you with a lot of things right now. But I really hope this was helpful. We have two other classes. I'll teach two different things. So if you want to come to the other two as well. And if you want to know more about the membership, because it's going to be like this, I'm going to teach at different times as well. Sometimes in the morning, sometimes in the evening, because I know people all over the world will be able to take this class then. There will be always recordings. And of course, there is also an invitation to come to Zurich and meet my studio in person and spend the weekend with me. Yeah, thank you, Emily. Thank you, Mary. Yay, yay. Thank you, everybody. Akasha. Yeah, so just hit me up. I'm on Instagram, you know where to find me, also on email. And thank you so much for being here. I will share the recording with everybody who registered for this. I'll see you soon. Bye. Thank you. That was so much fun.